What is up? What is everybody? Right, this is Mark the Mike. This is another Wrestling Babble podcast by Wrestling. I'm Mark the Mike. I'm joined by Louis Beans, my partner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tag me in.
Yeah, buddy. We're back with a lot of wrestling to cover, but first we always go to our wrestling retrospect. And last week pick was Jake the Snake Roberts. Um, I'll go with my first match because I was surprised to actually find something this old, and I was like, all right, this works. Um, I think I sent it to you like earlier today, and this was it's on YouTube, a YouTube channel called the Vintage Wrestling Channel,
Mm-hmm.
and it is Jake the Snake Roberts versus Shawn Michaels, 1985.
85. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Shawn Michaels looked like a very young Ric Flair, I guess, with the
Excuse me.
blue
All right.
trunks,
All right.
white boots, and Jake the Snake Roberts is wearing like these red bell bottoms. I guess they look they look weird. But it was a
Mm-mm.
solid match. Jake the Snake Robert was never a body wrestler. He was never like a great shape wrestler. He always looked like he was several years older than he usually is. But how he works is like the story that he tells in the ring. Um, he kicks his ass for the most part and catches that beautiful DDT and then wins.
I assume it's not a long match.
It's actually quite long. Surprisingly, it's just more of an ass whipping for a long time.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but Jake wins with the DDT.
All right. The first one I picked, because I don't see him very much, it is Jake Roberts versus Greg Valentine.
Nice.
This is International Challenge, April 26, 1989. And I know this is around when The Hammer, I guess he was coming off of being well known because this is WWF. So it looks like it's a little bit after he was like rocking and rolling and beating people up. He does have Jimmy Hart as his manager, and then Jake the Snake comes down, and it's like a standard match. Like they go back and forth. It's a real ass match. But you have the presence of Jimmy Hart on the outside that's getting uh Jake pissed off the entire time, and then it comes to the end where Jake's about to set up for the DDT, and then Jimmy Hart gets on the apron. The Hammer tries to take advantage, and then because Jimmy Hart got tied up in the corner, he's literally hanging upside down for his dear life. He needs the Hammer to get him out of the ropes, and then by the it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like in a wrestling match is too long, so you know what's gonna happen next. And Jake the Snake doesn't do a DDT. He catches him with the roll up,
Nice.
and he wins. No snake,
Yeah.
no snake used. Crazy.
All right. My next match. I think I told you about this last week when we were covering Dragon Steamboat. It was I actually just mainly picked this match before the beginning of the match. So this is Saturday Night Main Event. This is 1987. This is Jake the Snake Roberts versus the Kamala.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
And
okay.
the best thing about this match is when he comes in the ring, he fucking throws the snake and Kamala runs for dear life so fast. I've never seen a grown big ass dude run so fast away from that snake. It was a
Mm-hmm.
good match, a good solid like babyface versus heel, but um, push comes to shove, Honky Tonk Man kind of undercovered himself as the Safari dude. So
Oh,
he was
okay.
in that mask and the with the hat and shit, and then he
Yes.
betrayed. He pretty much like jumped Jake Roberts and Kamala got the win.
Really? Okay.
And then he
That's
took off
that's
all the
clever.
things, and then he did the shake rattle to roll to Jake the Snake as well.
Ah, okay, okay.
But the highlight of the match is the beginning when he just throws the snake in, and that dude runs for dear fucking life.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. Uh, this one I picked is Jake Roberts versus Nikolai Volkov. This is also a wrestling challenge, not international. November 15th, 1987. Scott Steiner. Not a fan, apparently.
No.
Um, he likes Nikolai, so uh,
Uh oh. Scott Steiner. It's like, yeah, my boy.
yes, he is very upset.
Yep, yep. I think I got this one.
Um,
Good.
so what he does,
Yeah.
let me tell you,
Scott
it
Steiner.
sounds like Scott Steiner is parked right outside. So,
Scott Steiner ain't having it. He's pissed.
and he's having a good old time today. So I don't remember what was going on. I could tell you at this time the bad guys seem to be all joining. So you have Slick, if you remember him being with a bunch of
Yes.
different wrestlers. He's
Yes.
with Nikolai and his tag team partner. Um, so Jake's technically a good guy during this period.
Yeah, he was a
Like the
babyface for quite some
fans, the
time.
fans, the fans definitely cheering him. People trying to touch him when he's coming out with the snake. You know what I'm saying in the bag. So it definitely seems weird.
That's their life.
Um, the standard match, and you know the bad guys are just plotting every time he goes outside. You got the partner literally wailing, wailing on Jake the Snake. like he, it's kind of crazy how much that man beats his ass. And then he goes back in. Nikolai's about to use his partner once again, like towards the end to get the distraction. Slick comes in, stands up, and gets the guy to stand up on the apron. And again, I don't think this is a trend for Jake the Snake as a good guy. Is he gets the bad guys to distract themselves, basically, like it backfires, and he catches the roll up again. Except at the end of this match, they beat his ass.
Yeah.
And then after they finish stomping a mud hole in him, Jake rolls out, grabs the snake, and these giant grown men run like children. It's hilarious because they don't
Nice.
see him and he's behind them, puts on his shoulder, and they just run. They just start doing, they start shaking it and running. It's really funny. So,
Nice. All right. So the match I got last is I don't have a date on it, but I think it was early '90s. It definitely probably like '91 because Rick Rude was the IC champion at the time. Is Ravishing Rick Rude versus Jake the Snake Roberts. This one had a personal history because he revealed that he had tights of his wife on his crotch. And so it
as
got
he
really
do.
personal, and Jake Roberts got pissed, and they had a match. And with his wife in the corner, and it was a really good match, really good back and forth, babyface heel. Um, but the distraction of his wife cost Jake the Snake Roberts the match, and Ravishing Rick Rude won. And while he was taunting his wife outside, like on the ring, Jake threw the snake at him and bit him. It's great.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
So Jake the Snake Roberts, even the babyface, he was a sore loser. That
Ah,
snake was gonna be used somehow, some way.
I got you. Okay,
But
okay,
it was a good match though. It was very good back and forth.
gotcha, gotcha. And the last one I picked, just because I have never seen, well, I won't say never seen. I was too young when he was wrestling as this character, and I don't remember any matches he had. So this one is Isaac Yankem versus Jake the Snake Roberts. This is WWF Monday Night Raw, February 26th, 1996. Um,
The gimmick
so
era.
you could tell this is like right before the Attitude Era, because
This
96, 97.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is probably like King of the Ring, right before Austin 316.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I saw him versus Austin. I did not want to pick that. I know that's a popular match.
Yeah.
Um, so we have Vince and we have the King on commentary. Um, they make sure to mention, obviously, Vince being the carny that he is, has to mention his demons,
Mhm.
has to mention his. newfound religion on the commentary.
Yep.
Jake has like his new gear, which looks he looks kind of like a Mortal Kombat character with that
Yeah, he has
green
like the
vest with the snake.
yeah.
It looks like it's like drawn in flames, which is kind of cool. It's kind of generic, but it's kind of cool when you look at it. Like the design's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just two big ass men, and also you see just as we know how big Kane is, you see Jake the Snake is right up there with him in size.
Yes. Jake the Snake I think was
Um,
6'8", 6'7", 6'8".
yeah, he's a very tall man. He's a very big guy. So it's a solid back and forth between the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Not too much crazy cheating going on in this match, but I will say that Yankum has the upper hand, and tries to mock Jake the Snake by doing his DDT, which you all know when you do that, it's kind of cool. He catches the reversal on the ropes, so he doesn't go down with the DDT,
Yeah.
and then he catches Isaac Yankum, DDTs him, and then proceeds to go get the bag. But the one who freaks out is the king. Like he just gets up from the commentary desk
Yeah.
and he's about to run.
Good.
He's about to run.
He knows the deal.
He knows what's about to happen. And then they go to the crowd and show a little boy staring at the ring, like
Yeah.
looking scared as hell. Jake fortunately does not get his snake out. So there you go.
Boo.
I know. So none of my matches did the snake bite anybody, but it did show up a
I
lot.
try to
So
find ones that the snake bit
like I
people.
was looking for the jobber matches, but I didn't see. I couldn't find them.
Um, one of the better one, the one I will highlight too is when he fought Yokozuna and Yokozuna fucking ran away from the snake too. That's a good one, and but the Kamala one is funnier just because how fast he gets out the ring.
yes, yes.
Like he like gets out the ring like a cruiserweight. That's how fast he gets out the
Oh,
ring.
yeah, all right, all right.
He like, oh hell no,
He's
fucking
like,
runs.
that doesn't work for me, brother.
There's
He's
another
out.
one with Earthquake, and like those are the intimidation of the snake and having the snake, and then during that whole rivalry, Earthquake lineup sitting on the snake and killing it.
Gosh.
Yeah. So
Somebody call Peter.
yeah, Peter was actually really mad at the time too. All right, we kick it off. The weekend wrestling. That's the wrestling retrospect. We'll go with a new person later on today on the cast, and then we'll start with the weekend wrestling. We kick off with Monday Night Raw because it is the first show of the week. 9/11, which is I made 10 years in Metro North that day, so it works there. Um, so yeah, and the towers they did a whole little tribute and stuff like that during the night. But yes, the Monday Night Raw kicks off with main event Jay Uso kicking things off, and then Kevin Owens has a few words to say to him as well. Then the Judgment Day come out. Kevin Owens don't like talking that long, so he always wants to fight, and then they lines up being a tag team match of Jay Uso and KO versus um, Damian Priest and was it Balor?
No, it's Kevin Owens and Jey Uso versus Balor and Priest.
Yeah, okay, so I was right. A good match.
Solid match, not for the championships,
Yeah,
right? Uh, this one is kind of the realistic version of the can they coexist because KO is like no.
yeah,
He's like no, he just wants to fight.
and
So
he
he's
got kicked in the
literally
head
just
too.
he's just beating people up. But we have a little miscommunication, and Jay kicks him in the face. That caused them to lose the match.
Yep,
And at the end of the match, he doesn't want to hear Jay's apology. So
yep. Mad at
there
him.
we go.
He should have got stunned. Lucky
Maybe,
he didn't.
maybe.
Next match we got The Miz versus Akira Tozawa.
I don't like this one. This reeks of kind of lazy, cause it's just like, damn, Akira Tozawa can't catch one win. You couldn't have had Miz just do something else. He had to fight Tozawa again to get his win back, cause this was a clean beatdown,
Yeah, I would have.
pretty
I
much.
would have still had Tozawa take the win. Surprisingly, maybe LA Knight theme hit or something like that, or he was on the Titantron or something. But you could have kept Tozawa having the win streak over him just to keep Miz even more pissed.
It just reeks of Taka Michinoku
Yeah,
and how they treated him. Where like we know how good that man is, in
Yeah.
retrospect. But maybe at the time we didn't know,
Yeah.
but we know how good Tozawa is.
Yep.
But they just keep making him a clown.
Yep. Even
And
in
it's like,
NXT, he can't catch that win.
this just made me miss Titus Worldwide even more.
Yo, gotta bring it back. Apollo not doing nothing. He could join you back too.
Apollo's not doing anything.
Dana
Who
Brooke.
else is? No, she's going crazy. I think that's fine. Her going crazy in
Yeah.
NXT is okay. That's not bad. But it's just like
It was Apollo and Tozawa.
Apollo and Tozawa. They need to do something
Yeah.
because yeah, it's.
Worldwide.
I mean to be a little stereotypical, but not exactly racist. I mean, you could play off some Rush Hour stuff between the two of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's some stuff you could do with these not as uh prominent superstars right now
Yeah.
instead of repeating matches and just having them get their asses beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Again, that's kind of boo boo, but I mean, Miz had to prove a point, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
He destroyed him. He did what, three skull crushing finales on him?
Yeah.
Tried to murder him. Try to splatter his brains on the mat. So there you go.
We have Gunta celebrates his IC title record.
Yes. And then Gable comes out to interrupt the celebration.
Yep.
And then they don't like that. And they want to beat his ass. And then you got Otis.
Yeah.
And then I believe this leads to a tag match.
Yep.
Right?
No solid.
Well, actually, and this is true on commentary, they were very surprised and asked, what does this have to do with the person who did help, which was Tommaso Ciampa?
Yeah.
So this seems to be bridging together some stories because now Ciampa is involved
Yeah.
with Gunther.
Chamba just want to fight.
This is true. But it's just like, why did he save Gable? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. So we got that. We get that match later on.
hmm
Um, this match was actually really good. Like I'm happy the time they gave this match. Xavier Woods versus Drew McIntyre.
yes, sir. We got Big D versus Woods.
And they have story, the reason why they're fighting and stuff like that. The Kofi tried to help, and then he got accidentally in the way. So they also had like little beef and backstage heat with their prior roles, like Xavier sending the fire to McIntyre. Like
He went for the jugular.
Your championship rim had no crowd, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very good match, very hard hitting, and yeah, it even shows that Xavier fucking can easily do singles and be a champion very soon, like any day now, kind of thing. Because the match was really great quality match.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Andrew, you won?
yeah, Drew won. That's bullshit.
I don't know. That's a giant man. If he kicks you in your face, I
Yeah,
don't know. I'd say to you, stay down.
yeah. Unless you're in AW world, and then you'll get up 3 times.
This is true.
Chelsea Green versus Shayna Baszler. Why y'all keep abusing Chelsea Green, yo?
Well, it's her character. It's kind of. I'm not mad that they abuse her because she rolls with all the punches very well.
And she kind of brings it to herself.
She won't stop talking shit.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Now we got Tommaso Ciampa and Alpha Academy versus Imperium. Ciampa and Academy win. Gable is gonna get another IC title shot very soon.
He swears
A payback. Oh, no, a
to
payback.
his Lord and Savior that he is going to take the belt from
Yeah.
Gunther.
At a
We will
Fastlane.
see. We will see.
Fastlane, he's getting the IC title match.
Was it because they won that match?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Also, we had Seth Rollins coming out and Nakamura beating the shit out of Ricochet with his
But
videos.
damn. All right.
Ricochet had a
Well,
good one.
I know we had some other stuff go down. I
Yeah.
know Cody was there. Him and Dirty Dom tango.
Yes.
I know that's. I think that was before that, right?
Yeah, and like where I'm reading, they don't mention it, so I just remember that these things happen. Um, yeah. So you had Cody Rhodes and Dominic and Duggan getting their ass kicked.
I see JD's walking out with Dirty Dom.
Yeah. So he's like Judgment Day in training.
Okay.
He don't
All
got
right.
he don't
All right.
he don't have the purple yet. He just has the black.
He just has the black. Yes.
He didn't do the gang initiation yet.
Yes.
And then our main event was Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Very strong, biggie kind of match between these ladies. And then kind of a surprise return of Nia Jax and beating both
Hmm.
their asses. But before that, Rhea Ripley gets the win. And then she attacks Rhea Ripley.
And they hit her with the Yokozuna,
Yep.
and she's out.
She got squoosh.
That's it. I mean, when it comes to that type of deal, that was something that I think for younger people watching it, younger fans,
Yeah.
that type of like big person that takes out someone, and then because now this is storyline, and
Yeah.
maybe like she was probably hurt and probably had to take some time off,
Yeah.
so they set it up this way. But I can remember as a kid when Yokozuna sat on your favorite, you was scared.
Yeah.
Remember when he sat on Bret Hart? Did he show people in the crowd just scared? Like
I
I'm
remember
just saying,
when they did the
we did
hacksaw.
it to Hogan.
When he did
Like
the
yeah,
hacksaw
yeah,
and he was bleeding from his
yeah,
mouth and
yeah,
shit.
from his mouth, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that still goes in my head is when I talk about Yokozuna, is when he squashed Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the American flag on him and the blood came out his mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, that shit was crazy. So yeah, it was
that's true.
cool. I was happy to see Nia Jax. Let's see how she does.
Let's just hope she's been working it. I mean, I not for nothing. I think she has been working with I think like TJ and Natty a little
Yeah,
bit. So like let's see if she's improved in the ring.
yeah, same here. I just hope for the best for her. I like her as a persona and stuff like that. So I'm happy that she's back. Seeing Raquel, her, and Rio, that's kind of cool because you never see women this size all fighting each other, which is great. I'm fine with her working like a big person style. Like I'm fine with her working like she was like the Big Show, with the arms over the head kind of thing, like pounds and things like that. Like have her work as a big one. That's all you have to
Mm-hmm.
do. Like I want that. That's the easiest way you could go with it.
It's
But
smart.
hmm
Yeah, it's smarter. Yeah, don't have her just be another regular wrestler.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm happy with it, and yeah. Monday Night Raw, you give it.
I'm gonna give it an A-. I thought it was actually I thought it was a good show. I think there's a lot of like the presentation things like with Gunter's celebration that was actually well deserved because
Yeah.
he actually did break a record,
Yep.
right? I think the Jey Uso and Kevin Owens stuff was actually good, and I think what KO was saying is gonna last for a little bit because he said there's a lot of people back there
Nice.
that don't want you here,
Yep.
and he's just one of them.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a bunch of people coming after Jay.
Yep. Billy Lee doesn't have friends. All right. We go to NXT. I'll go. Oh, I forgot to. I'll go A minus as well. It was a solid show. NXT. We kick off with Asia Dragunov versus Wesley for the number one contender of NXT Championship.
Oh boy, that was a hell of a match, man. They gave it their all.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. Take notes, man. People don't they be sleeping on these matches. Put some respect on Wesley's name, regardless if he lost this one, which he did.
Yes. Dragunov is the evil man.
I mean, he takes a ass whooping and keeps on coming. That's
Yep.
what he
Yep.
do.
It was a really good match. I was very happy with it.
Yes, sir.
We got Dominic Mysterio made fun of Mello last week. The A champ Dirty Dom to a match next week.
Yeah, he talked himself into a match. I like that. I like it.
Baron
Let's see
Corbin.
where it
Go ahead.
goes.
Yeah, that's true. Baron Corbin tries to show respect to Braun Breaker for brutally attacking um, Von Vanilla, Von Wagner.
He didn't talk. He didn't. He didn't. Well, Von Vanilla's already out. Don't
Yeah,
forget. He got his head smashed. He talking about Braun Breaker.
yeah,
He Braun Breaker came out and they were having a little supervillain laugh, and Baron Corbin was like, "No, I'm more evil than you.
yeah,
I don't respect. I don't respect you. I'm more evil than you,
yeah.
basically." And then Braun Breaker said, "I don't need your respect."
Yep. And then
So
he fight.
that's setting up a confrontation.
It was good. It was good. Then we got Drew Gulak, Charlie Dempsey, and Damon Kep versus Josh Briggs, Brooke Jensen, and Malin Miles Bourne.
Hmm.
Uh,
That is the new guy.
yep.
That is their. Well, they had him as like the trainee
Yeah.
before they accepted Damon Kemp.
Yeah.
So we will see. He moves pretty good. So I like how they're kind of using the story to introduce to bring him in slowly, and then how they hit you with the swerve
Yep.
because he turned on his teammates. This Miles Bourne guy.
Yep. Yep. See where it
So
goes from there.
he tried to scoop up what's her name, Fallon
Yep.
and then turned on the boys. So we'll see. I gotta give props though to Jensen and not Jensen, Briggs.
Yeah.
That boy swings for the fences, man. You saw that spinning heel kick? That was
Yeah.
probably one of the fastest spinning heel kick. I never seen a man in jeans
That one
throw a
looked dope.
spinning heel kick.
That move did look dope.
I'm just saying, like he's got some moves on him. So keep an eye on that guy.
We got Lara Valkyria versus Dana Brooke. Valkyria wins, but Dana Brooke was mad and beat her ass after the match.
Well, she was going to if a homegirl didn't catch her.
Yeah.
That's why I said Dana Brooke over there going crazy. She need help. But what's the girl's name?
Um,
Kelani, I think her name is.
Kalani. Yeah.
Yes.
Kalani
So
Jordan.
she held her back.
Yep.
Yes. So we'll see what goes on. I mean, it was a solid match, but it was more of a little story thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, Eddie Trope tried to refocus in an interview, but Dijak appears on the video making fun of him.
I thought it was pretty funny. That check whipping a tree with a belt. Ah, that's hilarious. He's like, oh, the spirits of nature. How could you? You whip my tree. So we will see. Their rivalry is not over.
Yep, yep. Global Heritage Invitational, you had Tyler Bate versus Axiom.
Yes, sir. That's a hell of, this was a solid match.
Yep.
This was a solid match. I mean, I think Axiom went a little too ham. He almost killed himself flipping on that. Almost flipped into the commentary table.
And
But Tyler Bate takes the win.
takes the
So
win.
he gets a point.
2 points.
So what is it? Now it's 1-1-1 because
It's
1-1-0, I think it is.
It's 2 points for pinfall and submission.
Okay, so he has two now.
Yeah.
Axiom has one for the tie.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne has what? Two or one?
Two.
He has two.
Three.
Well, no, he has three because he has a victory and he has a tie.
And he fights Tyler Bate next.
Gotcha.
And he warned Bate that he's looking for the bruiser come back.
Yeah.
Going for your
Let's see.
fingers.
Let's see.
That's gonna be a good match. They always have good matches.
I hope that he beats the fake the lugs off of that man. I'm tired of Tyler Bate wrestling in underwears and lugs.
There you
I'm sick of his gear.
go.
It just looks like underwear with lugs on.
It does. It does.
Chris talks in boots. Like it has socks coming out the top. Come on, dog. You can't tell me that look like lugs.
The Creed brothers versus Malik Blade and Aegis Enough. Solid match. Creed brothers win.
A lot of story with this one. I see. You see what's them call it? Stacks in them. They try to kill you. They try to kill these homeboys at the end of this. The brawl breaks out with the tag teams.
Yep.
Then the no fade get like mashed up into the stairs.
Yep.
they going crazy,
A
man.
lot of tag team turmoil. Uh oh.
Yeah, yeah.
We got Global Hershey's Chuck Invitational. We have Nathan Frazier versus Akira Tozawa. And Frazier defeats Tozawa by pinfall. He gets 2 points as well.
Again,
Um,
solid match. This is how you showcase Tozawa, though.
yeah.
Not as a clown. Let that man wrestle. And if you want to let him wrestle in something where it's like lighter opponents, as this Heritage Cup is basically almost a cruiserweight classic,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, kind of.
But I mean, in this type of competition, this is where the boy shines. Let him do this. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So,
And then our main event is the NXT Championship match. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton versus the man, Becky Lynch.
yes, sir.
This match was
Yes,
fucking.
sir.
It was
I'm
great.
glad to see it bring some shine to NXT. Is what the man does, and help the girls out. Like, who else do you want backstage to ask questions and pick her brain? So good that she's sticking around in
Yeah.
NXT for a while.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm done here.
yes, I'm a little sad that Tiffany's not champ because she was rolling, but it's fine. It's fine. She's new. Don't forget she is very new.
Yeah.
So
I'm fine with
she'll get a
this.
championship back.
I'm fine with Becky working there. Like honestly, there's a lot of people that would like to see Becky match up with like Valkyria.
And
Um,
one little thing I will spot out, they put it on the little highlight reel here, but yeah, man, Tiffany's getting better with her aerial arsenal like
yeah.
that. That Swanton was sick, dude.
Yeah, it was like
I
a
mean,
dive.
I wouldn't want to be Becky, but she hit it clean,
Yeah.
and the way she floats in the air, man, it is pretty. So
Nah, it was good.
she's getting better.
It was
She's
good.
getting better.
NXT, where you give it?
I might have to give her like a solid A. I don't know, man. I'm just looking at, yes, maybe not every bit of story hit for me, but like the in ring was very good this week. Very, very
I'm
good.
gonna go A as well. I think that main event was well worth it. I think the Heritage Cup stuff is adding a lot of flavor to it, especially because all the matches have a time limit of 12 minutes. So no matter what, you're gonna get a fast match, but it's still like a very competitive match, and they've been
Yeah.
doing great with those. So I'm happy with that. The tag team turmoil afterwards, they're doing a lot of good stuff in NXT.
The
Yeah.
first match was good. That could have been a main event. I'm just
Yes.
saying.
Exactly. And then yeah, Dragunov and Wesley was a pay-per-view type match. So even the main event was a pay-per-view type match. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, NXT, I'll give it a solid A. We go to AEW Dynamite. And we kick off with AEW International Championship, Moxley versus Big Bill.
Bill, Big Billiam. Yes, sir.
It was alright match.
It was decent. The one thing I will say, I think Bill's he's getting a little better. He's getting back to his old self, but I think he needs to. I think not for nothing, man. Big Bill needs to start like going a little strong with these guys, man, because he's kind of getting beat up. That's my thing I don't like.
So yeah, so that's my thing with him. When you worked with fucking Claudio, Claudio had a hard time getting you down, and you sold it like you was powerful and it was hard to get down. When Moxie fought you, you got your ass kicked.
Yeah, he got superplexed and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's just like
so
he's almost like fighting. And I hate to say it because I know in terms of how they present him that he's above everybody, Moxley.
yeah,
But I mean, like, it just does feel like Big Bill's the underdog. Like that doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So that's why I don't like that. Like, yeah, I know he beat him, he got him bloody,
Wait, when does he
and it.
not get bloody? That's not an excuse.
No, no, yeah,
He
I
could
know,
have
I
sneezed
yeah,
and
yeah,
fucking
true that,
started
true that,
bleeding.
true that, true that, true that. True. Who am I talking about? It is John Moxley. But
Yeah,
my thing is, I feel like Big Bill's got to be presented just a lot stronger, man. Like,
and build consistently because again, you have a tag match on Collision that you have Cesaro selling him as a big man, as in clotheslining one of the strongest people you have on AEW. Period. Clotheslining him and not getting him down. Clotheslining him again, not getting him down. Clotheslining him again, not getting him down. Then have to do like several European uppercuts then gets him in the corner, does a couple more, then gets him and then does it again, and then finally clotheslines him down.
Yes.
So if you're doing
Exactly.
that much work to get him down, and then you go in this match and you see how fast he gets his ass kicked, there has to be consistency with the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yep.
Because again, collision, you rung that bell and it was like, yep, that's exactly what happened in collision.
Yeah. That's true. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
stop that shit.
Yeah, man.
And then yeah, Moxie bleeds for everything.
Yes, he does.
It's like
Yes,
a
he
sad movie to him. Like he'll probably start bleeding instead of crying.
instead of crying.
They
True.
used to watch
No,
Free
true.
Willy. This blood
It's
comes
a
down.
hundred percent. It's 100% true. I'm not mad,
Yeah,
but they. This is starting to become what the rise of Big Bill because he's now with Ricky Starks. He's getting a spotlight.
I
He's
I
wrestling like every week now.
I say he should have just stood in that Impact Wrestling because he was on a roll on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, he probably would have been champ by now.
Yeah, he was on a fucking roll when he before he left, and I was like, damn, why you decide to come here? You're not even shown on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger
So,
paycheck, but yo, with the smaller paycheck, you could get more bookings and you fucking
well,
still consist.
yeah, and I know. I think his fiance is there. I guess he just wants to be close to
Yeah,
his family,
there you go.
future family, and whatnot. But I'm just like, for your professional careers, like I think you would have been able to
Just
probably
did more.
have been a champ
Mhm.
already, and then you'd be able to command more, and people will respect you more, and you won't have to start from the bottom. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
agree.
And then he would be better because he would have been fighting better people at the time.
Mhm.
And I think he's been sitting on the sidelines in AEW for too long, and it just kind of shows. And he hasn't developed as powerful
Yeah,
as he should be. I think
yeah. He sells too much. He sells too
he should
fast
be a
here.
threat. He
Yeah.
should be a threat.
All right. Don Callis reveals his latest masterpiece and calls Takashita the Alpha,
I like that painting.
and they're aiming for Ibushi.
I like that painting. I like that painting
Mhm.
with this with the sword. He's about to impale Bushi.
Yeah.
That is sick. Uh,
Then
I mean, I have no problems with this. I like the president.
yeah, I was fine with it. It was a good promo and everything.
He's his mouthpiece. He needs that.
Yep. Grand Slam Women's Championship 4-way for Eliminator. Storm wins. It was an okay match.
I think the right person won though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
I
digging her
mean,
character.
I mean, there is a little bit of favoritism because I think it's been a little bit since Nyla's been back, like in the championship spotlight,
Yeah,
and Nyla's been consistent. So, but I feel like right now Tony Storm is on her way up with this new character and
yeah,
stuff. So,
that was alright.
mm
The Six Gods speak. They gonna line up fighting with each other. I don't give a fuck about this storyline.
they haven't managed to make me care as much as big as they're presenting it.
It's crazy because the Bleach Report gives the promo an A, and I'm like, I have no care about this storyline whatsoever.
I just I don't think again this is here's the thing, and it kind of almost feels like that's not true, but it is. It's hard to buy that this is the first time they fought for
Yeah,
some reason. It just is. Like I'm surprised. I think back and I'm like, oh yeah, they really have not.
yeah, they should have.
So for this to be the thing, it just yeah, like you said, it just hasn't hit.
Yeah,
It hasn't made me go, yeah, okay, I want to see this. It's just like,
yeah. I'm just like, whatever.
and I kind of gotta blame Sammy.
Yeah,
I think he's the weak link in the promos in this one.
no, 100%.
Like it's not for Jericho not trying. It's just Sammy's kind of not selling me on it.
Yeah.
So
All right. We go Hangman Page versus Putty number one, Brian Cage. And
I
now they
mean,
are
like you
kind of
said,
ODing with the dance.
I mean you kind. I mean, listen, you kind of got to. You kind
Yeah.
of got to. Let him do it. Let him do it. Nana's a character. Let him have some shine. Because before, I'll tell you one thing. Before he started doing the dance, I was just like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Why are you here? Because the not for nothing, if you paid attention to what was going on when they first started with Mogul, he was ineffective.
Yeah, I
His
have no
cheating
clue
was
what they're doing.
ineffective. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? His talking on the mic, you don't care. Now he's kind of more of an established character. Let him do his thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind. You got
Um.
Jerry Lynn dancing. You got random fans dancing. You know what I mean? Go all in. You get a T-shirt. You get a meme. That's it's better than nothing. You know what? It's better than Brian Cage right now,
Yeah.
and that's kind of sad
And Brian Cage loses,
because
and
like you said, just losing.
see, I gave him the like, all right, he might be Goldar, and him and QT would be Goldar and Rita Repulso, but no,
Yeah,
he's not Goldar. I take the weighted Goldar. At least Goldar, he owned the Rangers at least once or twice,
at least once or
and then they had
twice.
to come back and beat his ass. But at least he had some wins. He don't get wins at all, so he's a putty, Zed
Yeah,
putty.
yeah, he is. He is.
Um, and then Prince Nana was dancing in the ring and got super kicked by the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how you do it. He's still a
Yeah,
bad guy, so
yeah.
you gotta. He's having fun and doing and getting his moment, but he's a bad guy, so you gotta beat him up.
Darby Allen and Nick Wayne versus Matt Murden and Angelo Parker.
I mean, I'm glad to see him.
Yeah, I don't know who they
I'll
are.
put
So
it that way. I'm
yeah,
glad to see him, but they still look like JS.
yeah.
I kind of think they should move away from that look to something else. Maybe go back to some wrestling gear,
2.0.
the leather pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No, I mean, let's go back to selling coffee mugs in the back and
yeah,
talking fast and just being having fun like they were. Like,
yeah.
but I think they need to fight. Maybe they need to build themselves up because they are basically glorified jobbers at this point. You know,
Pretty
not being
much.
in the JAS.
Yep.
So
All right. And then our main event was Grand Slam World Title Eliminator Tournament Final. Roderick Strong versus Samoa Joe.
that was a good match.
Good match.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Joe
I
submits
mean,
Strong, and he
yeah,
wins.
yeah. The neck. It makes sense. Like, see, that's again,
Yeah,
again when you do stuff like that, and you have two guys that could go either way, but you have one with a history of neck problems.
yeah,
It's like, all right, beat him up, take his neck out. You know what I'm saying? And for nothing, that clothesline was mean.
yeah,
He caught him midair. He swatted him like a fly. So, like we
yep,
said, we knew it was gonna be Joe in the finals.
yep.
All right, we knew it was Joe that was going to go for the championship.
Yeah,
So there
yeah,
you go.
yeah. You kind of have it laid out.
Hmm. Hmm.
AEW, where you give it?
Uh, C plus.
Yeah, I'll go around there.
Like the best match was the main event.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I said my piece about the first match. Kind of disappointed me how Big Bill's presented.
yeah. I agree. All right, we go to. I did watch Impact because it was the 1000 episode. Did you watch? Oh no.
I only saw the highlights for it, so I got to see all the people come out. I got to see the girls in the ring, and I got to see Mickey come back.
Yeah,
But I didn't get to like sit there and watch the entire
I think
show.
this is
No,
like part one, and next week is gonna be part two because then they do a 6 women tag and stuff like that.
I did see
So
some of the stuff they set up.
yeah,
I did see what the Josh Alexander. They set up Josh Alexander versus Shelly, right?
yeah. Alex Shelley. Um,
Mm-hmm. I saw the highlights for the match of Chris Sabin versus Leo Rush.
yeah, that was really good. And then you
So
got a new champion, Chris Sabin.
and what's that 10-time X
Yeah,
Division?
10 time.
Congratulations, yes sir.
The show was actually really good. Very fun. Very good matches. A good way to honor 1000 episodes and everything.
I
Team
mean
3D. Good.
I don't want to catch you on the spot. You could you could think of it maybe throughout, but I want to ask because they did hit 1,000. That is a milestone.
Yeah.
Do you have any impact memories, positive and maybe negative, over
So
those 1,000?
Impact, I was not really into. Like it was,
Really? Okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
did not follow it that much. So I'll say like I know the few things I know. Like I like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Chris Sabin. I think no Christopher Daniels. Their triple threat for the X Division title. I think it was probably the most memorable thing I got from there. I like every time I see the highlight of Booker T beating people's asses while he's commentating. I always laugh, and that's
Black
one of
Snow.
my
Yes,
favorites.
sir.
And there's Austin
Yes,
Creed
sir.
there. Um, I guess the X Division has always been like something of a soft spot for me because I always liked what they did with that. Um, I started watching later on when they were teaming up with Lucha Underground. So when Penta was there, he became Impact champ. Um, the building of Eddie Edwards to the Impact Championship. Sammy Callahan building to that title as well. I think Tara Blanchard was the champion at the time. That's when I actually started watching Impact more consistently.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I like what they're doing now. I like what they have, and I like the talent they have. I wish Cardona comes back and takes the world title. I really would like to see Cardona in a more impactful way in Impact, but I know he doesn't want to do a tied down situation right now. He does the Indies and he loves what he's doing. But I would love to see him come back with it. I would like to see Myers probably get an X Division title or the world title as well.
Yeah, man. He's I will say he's slowly building up the credentials to be that believable world champion.
Yeah,
Right now he's in a very serious tag team with Moose.
yeah,
And they still have their funny moments, but like now he's in a serious thing with Moose, not like that.
yeah,
And I think didn't they win something, right?
yeah.
Moose got one of the briefcases from the match
Yes,
they had.
yes, he did.
So yes, sir.
Impact 1000. I think this is part one because part two is this week. I'll give it a B plus. It was a fun show.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff.
We go to and it was nice seeing all those ladies back, get return and
Yeah,
get their
yeah.
respect, get their
Credit,
flowers.
credit. You know what? I will say my memories of Impact are like things like the introduction of certain characters.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, even though I wasn't watching, I remember the introduction of the Hot Mess.
Yes, I remember
Chelsea
Chelsea
was
Green.
like
Yeah.
that, going nuts. I remember Super EY when he had the blonde hair, when he had hair,
Yeah, I remember that.
and he was a superhero. I I remember things like the I don't know the name of the match. I think it was Six Sides of Steel with Elu Skipper on the top
Yes,
of the cage. I don't think
that was
anything could
lockdown.
like
I think.
physically top that. That was one of the coolest things in wrestling, dude. I remember, like you said, AJ, Daniels and Joe. Um, I remember Bobby Roode winning the Impact Championship
Yeah.
when he turned on James Storm. Like there's a lot of stuff I do. I remember the woo off. Woo,
I
woo,
remember that.
woo.
I always see that in like clips and stuff.
Um,
Um,
along with Black Snow. But I'll say like my favorite. It is kind of the pandemic era when they when it was just Impact Wrestling. It's
yeah,
kind of the stuff I have the most fond memories. The rise of Jordan Grace,
yeah,
the rise of Deanna Purrazzo, like that whole women's division becoming a real threat to every other women's division.
yeah. I
That's kind of
agree.
like my favorite like time period. It was like 2020, like 2021, 22
Yeah,
is this that rise of the women's division in Impact. Like the knockouts, I still say like the kind of the most entertaining to watch overall as a women's division.
they're up there, 100%.
Hmm.
I will agree. So yeah, hopefully they get 1,000 more episodes, man. I
Yes, sir.
like Impact.
And I like the announcement they made of them getting like the little upgrade for their setup and stuff, the cameras and things
Yeah,
like that. They getting 4K for some stuff, like
yeah,
the pay-per-views, I believe. So like, okay, they're doing better, and I
yes,
like that. They
yes.
got their fan base and they're doing better.
Yep, yep. SmackDown is next. And we kick off with the return of Pat McAfee. Then Austin Theory comes in. They go back and forth. And then the return of The Rock.
The Great One
The crowd was
returns.
fucking crazy.
Good for them. That was a well kept secret. At least to me, I didn't know. Those fans, they didn't know. So good.
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody out there probably spoiled it, but look, it missed me.
yeah,
So I was surprised as hell. I was like, "What the hell, The Rock? What is you doing?"
yeah,
Um, I like again. I did not see the McAfee podcast. I heard he was on there first, right?
hmm
So I didn't
yeah.
me not knowing that I had no clue what was
They were
going
at
down.
the Colorado University game with Deion Sanders just coaching. It's like one of the biggest news stories right now.
I saw,
Is Deion
I saw
Sanders?
Dion do right by a bunch of kids and bought like a whole team,
hmm
some expensive ass
Yeah,
sunglasses. Cause he's like, y'all gonna be stars, all right, okay.
he's coaching a college team that he started from scratch. As in, he took a team that's was 1-12 last year, and now they're 3-0 starting the season.
Wow, okay,
So,
okay,
and his son is the quarterback, and his son also plays receiver. He has two sons in the team.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So he was there for that, and then he came for Monday Night Raw for SmackDown. It was actually really cool. The crowd was crazy. I give credit for Austin Theory hanging in there too. Like he didn't like get nervous or anything like that. He was 100% into it. So I give him a whole lot of credit for Austin Theory to actually had to handle that much fucking crowd and reaction. Give him credit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Very solid match.
Yes, sir. I like it. I mean, they're continuing their feud,
Yeah.
so it's got and not for nothing. A lot of people are tied up together.
Yeah.
So give me a second, Mark. Let me.
Mhm.
While you go to the next thing. Hold on.
Uh, so the match we had was pretty much AJ Styles. Pretty much Jimmy Uso got in the way and kind of set up the Judgment Day to win. Judgment Day is kind of like helping both Usos and working with the Bloodline in a way. So they're kind of like doing their thing in that sense. And so Jimmy causes AJ Styles to win.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we got LWO versus the Street Profits.
That was interesting. I don't know. Did I miss something? I blinked and it was over.
Oh yeah, it was fast match. They whooped their ass. But what happened was Mysterio's out for the U.S. title. Escobar was challenging for the U.S. Championship. He won a respect match kind of thing. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and Bobby Lashley all came out. They said, "Hey, we are looking for championships as well." So they put their name in the title scene kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
And then Mysterio Escobar will happen within the next couple of weeks.
Good stuff. I don't know how I feel about how that quick ass beat. LWO looking
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. L.A. Knight versus The Miz.
Solid. This was the match he was talking about on Monday.
Yep,
The rematch.
really good.
Solid match. Again, I like Miz digging into his playbook, actually doing stuff that you've probably never seen, because he wants to show up. L.A.
Yes.
Knight, right? But not for nothing. We got a clean as a whistle victory.
And then we also got a promo in the end that said it doesn't matter if it's Rey Mysterio, it doesn't matter if it's Gunther, it doesn't matter if it's Seth Rollins, it doesn't matter if Roman Reigns. Knight said staking his claim to a championship gold very soon, so everyone is on his target list. Paul Heyman didn't
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Yes, definitely. He did not
Paul
like
Heyman was
this.
like, I gotta call this motherfucker. He's playing. He's starting shit that he don't know what he's getting into.
It was the telltale. Paul Heyman will remember this.
Yes. 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 We have Oscar versus Bailey. It was a short match. I thought it was solid.
It was more story because obviously Bailey is just upset at constantly losing, but she wanted to. Her thing was, I want to soften up Oscar for Io because and they put it out. Io was training for her match with Oscar. That's why she was not there.
Yes.
So I would say she did a pretty bad job.
Yep.
she got her butt kicked. Um, and again, Dakota, like I told you, I don't know how I feel about her just not being effective.
Yeah.
Cause it kind of just seemed like it was just Bailey out there.
Yeah,
Like,
I just gave her a teaser.
yeah, I mean, give her the, what was it, the Sky Hall taser?
Yeah, the cattle prod. Just gave
Oh,
her that.
that had me, yo, listen, wait, can we just talk about how, as stupid as that was, as a young, dumb, like, was it early teens, I guess you
Yes.
were? Maybe like, what, how old would you be? Like 13
Yeah.
at that age when I was going down or whatever?
Like
I
14.
thought that was real.
Yeah.
I thought that was real. You know what? Because Goldberg, all right, here's the credit I'm going to give Goldberg. He sold the hell out of me a taste.
Because he legit was tased.
What?
Yeah,
You
it
mean to
wasn't
tell
a
me
strong
you
power
know?
tased, but he was legit tased.
Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up. Damn, son.
At least he didn't shit his
All right,
pants.
you know what? All right. Yeah, give her a taser. All right.
And then Shanti pops up, and then she gives
Like a little
Oscar a pound.
goblin.
Yeah.
I love how Bailey just to Bailey, Shassi's not a human being. She's just like a monster.
Yeah.
'Cause she just
She's a
runs.
little gremlin.
Oh my god. Oh, what are you? This little
And
spikes on her head it scares her.
she gives Oscar a pound.
Oscar didn't. Oscar was like, I don't know. I'm scared of you too.
Like, don't touch me.
He's like, you gonna eat me?
And then we end. We also had an interaction with John Cena and The Rock. It was cool. And then John
Yes.
Cena on the Grayson Waller effect. Gets jumped by Solo and Jimmy, and then AJ Styles comes for the save.
Yeah, I like that meme that was going around of Jimmy with the the picture of our truth. It is like Jimmy in the back trying to avoid the Rock.
Yeah, that's had me laughing.
See, here's my problem with the Rock being there, and Jimmy walking around and Solo walking
Yeah,
around
like he
and the
doesn't even
wise man walking
he
around.
don't interact with none of the family at
None of
all.
his family's busy having a meltdown, and this man, this man, this man just like, hey, what's up, John Cena?
Yeah,
his
exactly.
family's in, his family is in crisis.
Yeah,
Oh Lord, Rock,
Rock
you're
don't care.
terrible.
Rock don't care.
You're terrible.
He's dealing with the writer strike. He ain't acting right now either.
Damn. He's like, yeah, I ain't paying him no mind.
SmackDown, where you give it?
SmackDown, I'm gonna give it an A. It was a very good
Give
show.
it a
I
solid. Yeah,
can't lie.
it's
I
fine.
might, I'm gonna give it an A plus. You got The Rock there. You got John Cena.
Yeah.
They interacted. It was pretty cool. I'll let the Jimmy and Solo and the Wise Man not talking to The Rock. I'll let it slide.
Okay. I'll stick with A. All right. I did watch Collision. Did you watch Collision?
No, I did not. That
Okay.
was SmackDown was the last show I watched.
Okay. So again, my big issue with the match of this Brian Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli versus Big Bill and Ricky Stark. I like the fact that Ricky Stark took the win, 100%. That was fine because again, Brian is generous. Like he wants shit to keep roll. So I was fine with that. But you overselling Big Bill as a big man now, but it wasn't consistent on Dynamite at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
That was my only like gripe with this match. FTR versus the Iron Savages. I had no clue who they are, and I also don't
That's
know.
look, wait before you go any further.
Is this
Gotta
Bear
put
Bronson and
respect on their name
this is
because they are Creator Pro. They are Creator Pro homies.
so this is Bear. There used to be the Bear.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Bear Bronson and what's gonna call it. And one of them like he went on a fitness journey and he lost a lot of weight, so he's not that big anymore. So they can't be the Bears.
yeah, Bronson Boulder. Okay, I know who they are now. I
Boulder,
forgot who
yeah,
they are.
Boulder and Bronson. So Bronson, he's getting in shape and whatnot.
Yeah,
So they can't be the Bears anymore.
that match was
So
okay. Match was
mhm,
okay.
mhm.
The Works Horsemen. I don't know who the hell they are. So
We know one of them. We know what to call it from. He was in NXT. The one with the blonde in his hair, the smaller one.
the smaller one.
Yeah, we know him.
Uh,
He was in NXT for a minute. He's good.
Works.
That's
Workhorse.
JD Drake and I forget his name though. That's the thing. They don't. I see them so infrequently. I can only remember JD Drake,
Oh,
and we
okay.
know we
Oh,
know
okay,
JD
okay.
Drake
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Evolve.
All right, so I didn't even recognize them. I was
But
like,
I don't blame you because the Workhorsemen aren't featured on Dynamite. They were
yeah.
a staple of Dark.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they was sometimes on the early days of Rampage.
Okay, so yeah, I don't. You guys, they fail to.
Yeah, they failed to capitalize on those guys.
Yeah.
They let them drift and whatnot. But
So
they no, they're good.
they're
They're
gonna
solid.
fight FTR next.
Hmm.
Um. Then yes, John Silver versus Aaron Anthony Bowens. I actually thought this was a okay match, and John Silver actually won.
I can't believe it, but I saw a clip that Evil Uno was under the ring.
Yep. He ran on the
He was
after he
under the
cheated.
ring in a suit, rolled out, and that suit was crisp.
Yep. Because he didn't
No
want to take off the
wrinkles,
suit to fight. That's why.
no wrinkles. No, I'm saying he was under the ring and his suit ain't get wrinkled. Wow. Okay.
You had Aussie Open squash match, and then you had Drale versus Scorpio Sky. I thought this was probably the match of the night. Fun
Okay.
match.
Good. Good. Good.
And
Good to see it.
then
Because could you would know? I have to ask you how how long has it been since Scorpio Sky came back? Because I haven't seen
he
him. He has not
wrestled
been on
he wrestled
Dynamite,
probably
right?
like 3 weeks ago or four.
What has he been on Dynamite? I don't
Nah, he's
remember
been on,
him
only on Collision.
on Collision. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
You had the Righteous Ones versus the Hardys. That was an okay match. That dude Butch, Dutch, he's a MTA employee. He was an MTA employee. He worked. He was
Really?
a conductor. Yeah.
All right. All right. You ever seen him or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. I met him a couple times, and I saw him a couple times on my job and shit like that. My boy had me introduced because I'm a big wrestling fan. So he
Mm-hmm.
was telling me about all of it. He wrestled in a couple of the upstate ones as well, but he came in this one.
Good for him. Nice.
And then our main event was Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker. I have a lot of issues with the match, but for the match itself, it was okay. But I'm getting tired of the three finishers and still kicking out.
I guess they're trying to build her to be a specific type of wrestler because she is bigger than everybody.
Yeah, that's not the way you do it though. Like you ate all three of her moves that she won titles with. That just doesn't sit right with me in that sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That's my only
mm-hmm,
thing. It's like, yo, she
mm-hmm.
won a championship with a lot of these moves, and you just like got right back up. Like it was not even a sell that her neck hurt or anything. She just got right back up. So this is my issues starting with Chris
Okay,
Statlander,
okay,
is that she
okay.
doesn't sell, and the fact that she's not selling anything or hurting a body part and stuff like that is starting to get to me. The fact that I just keep seeing it and it's just starting to annoy me. So
Gotcha.
I'm losing interest in her matches if
And
this
we
is
know
gonna
she
keep
knows
going.
better.
Yes, exactly.
We know she knows better. Hmm.
I want Athena beer ass now.
Give her one more chance. You got one more chance.
Hey, one more chance, or I'm gonna send Athena as your ass.
Yep. And her
Um,
minion.
yeah, again, I wanted to like the match, but that just ruined it for me. Like that ending just ruined it for me because how she just ate the three finishers and then just did her one finisher and took her out.
Gotcha. Understood.
I was surprised Britt Baker didn't catch a kick out of her finisher. I was waiting for it.
True, 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 true.
Collision, I'll give a B minus.
All right. Cool.
Andrade and Scorpio Sky was well worth watching.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
All right, we go to podcast we listen to. I did listen to Chris Van Vliet. He did have Kathy Kelly last week on, and I think he had another person on this week. So his conversation with Kathy Kelly was longer than the one Ryan Santon had. T.J.
Okay.
Wilson was on Ryan Santon. I think that was
Oh.
his last podcast.
Oh. I need to listen to that one.
That was good. Good conversation. We talked about him and Brian had a match, and there was a show called WWE Slam that was on Saturday morning with the Saturday morning cartoon lineup, and they weren't allowed to swing or hit each other. They just had to do wrestling moves on each other. So him and Brian had a match on that. I gotta find the clip of it, but you see him like pretzel Daniel Bryan just roll him around the ring and shit. It's fucking
Oh,
stupid.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a really dumb match, but it was actually quite fun. But he talks about that. And that was actually a good conversation.
Hmm.
Um, what else I listened to?
Did you hear After the Bell?
That was with.
Chad Gable Part Two,
Yes, I
I
did
guess.
listen to that. That was actually really good.
I like how he mentioned him saying swearing to God about taking the title. He's like, I don't say that lightly. So okay, okay.
He sold his
He said
soul.
it,
Uh oh.
and I he mentioned what Bully Ray said. I like how they're not afraid to talk about the people who are basically Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
I mean, except Jericho.
yeah,
They don't talk about Jericho, which is I think is funny. But like Bully Ray, and they mentioned Mark Henry. Like Mark Henry talking about how he had tears in his eyes when he watched that match. And I'm like, yeah, because you got that's how good that match was.
yeah,
That's how it's just a certain throwback to a certain time. I
yeah,
get it. I understand. That's kind of like why a lot of those guys got into wrestling. I understand that. So to see somebody still preserving it, okay, I appreciate. And but not just in like Japan. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Not just strong style. This is American professional wrestling, and there's still guys out there willing to go through it. And
yeah,
like to hear Gable talk about, he understands that about Gunther.
yeah.
Like it's pretty cool to hear that. So it's a lot. It's a lot of little tidbits you hear in that interview. I like that.
Yep.
So
All right.
and I did fan questions. But the other thing I heard the short version of Busted Open talking about the PWI. So they went to the top 10.
Oh yes, we could actually conversate about that too before we go.
I was gonna ask you because they did a thing. They didn't want to go too long. I think it's a good idea to shorten our list to a little top five.
Top five. Okay.
It's harder, yeah, but like, yeah, it is what it is.
Um, who would be your top five?
I thought about it. If I had to just do five, number five is Cassidy, right?
Yeah.
I think he's had one of the best years, period, in AEW. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think he had the best year in AEW. Um, Number four, I would agree with Moxley. I might even know. Number four, I might say MJF. Number four, I might say MJF because you know who's. Well, I don't want to say you know. Uh, Now here's where it gets controversial for me
Okay.
because I'm putting somebody in this list who did win a championship, and if you look at his matches, I believe he has won most of his matches. His influence has been big, but he's a bad guy. And I'm gonna say number three. Wait, what did I say?
T-
Cassidy MJF. I'm gonna say Dom.
Dominic.
I'm gonna say Dirty Dom.
Is he even on
And
the
this is
list?
going. I don't know where he is. No, but he fits the
94.
criteria for the list because they say the championships, number of wins, influence.
Yeah.
If you're trying to tell me that Dirty Dom is not influenced in that period from last year to this year, you're crazy.
Damn. That's
You're
something we
crazy.
can argue with. Yeah.
I think he's the number one bad guy in the business.
Yeah.
Well, besides Gunther, but Gunther's more of like a wrestler bad guy. I think character wise is Dirty Dom.
Dom is number 94.
Yeah, look, see, he's way down there. But I would put him above a lot of
Okay.
people. A lot of people. And
Okay.
don't forget, WrestleMania was this year.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Yep.
And he had one of the best entrances. Still.
So 2-1.
Influence up there.
So this would be
Um,
three, 2-1.
and he had like the best 2 months since then. I'm just saying. Like when they put Cody and they talk about Cody and what happened, they go, yeah, he missed a lot of criteria because he was injured. I'm like, yeah, well then he can fall spaces, he can fall down,
Yeah.
so fall down that list. And then on the number one and two, obviously, I'm gonna say Roman two. I'm gonna say Roman two, and I'm gonna give it to Seth. I'm gonna give it to Seth. I'm gonna do it
I 100% agree with Seth and Roman where they're at. One and
because I
two
think
makes sense.
because I will say I think Seth because And I would put Moxley honorable mention number 6, right? Um, but Seth kind of is the most influential wrestler in WWE. He had that. He had the fan. He started the whole chanting with the fans, singing and all that. Like that before Cody. You know what I mean? Like he was the bad guy in the Cody feud, and they were still singing for him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's powerful. This is how he transformed since I don't know how long has he been the revolutionary?
Oh,
More than a year,
since
right?
2020,
That's what I'm saying. He's been that
because
for
they were
more than
singing
that.
his song when he had the one before it.
I mean, it's just got more powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go 1 and 2, Seth and Roman. Yeah.
Um, I think I'll put Cassie at 5 as well. I think he's been the most consistent wrestler in AEW.
Hmm.
I will argue MJF not being top 5 just because the lack of wrestling he does throughout the year. He has big rivalries, but he's not doing those matches, so his win loss will not be as cohesive, I guess.
Well, he because they brought up the fact that Roman, and you could put him in that category because he's a bad guy champ. He doesn't
Yeah, that's true.
defend,
Yeah.
but his influence has stayed
I like
super high.
Roman stays too because the bloodline storyline period. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
storyline is probably like the most watched storyline period. It rating
Mhm,
wise and everything like that, you cannot
mhm,
deny it. So Roman stays 2. 3, I'll switch Mox to Gunther. I think Gunther should get 3. I think Gunther had again those high profile matches. He fought Sheamus, he fought Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. He fought McIntyre by himself, the matches he having with Gable, the matches he having with for those IC title matches, I think they're very good and very strong matches. Riddle with a lot of the guys that he's been working with. Like I think he's been improving, and then his title reign speaks for itself. So that I'll say he will take my third spot.
mhm.
I'll give Moxley 6, like you did too. MJ, I think I'll agree. You know what? If I really look at it, I'll put Cassidy at 4, and I'll put MJF at 5.
Okay,
I
okay.
think Cassie's just more consistent with his titles, with his
Yeah, because
title
I mean,
matches.
he did.
Yeah,
I think he had like the most title defenses out of anybody. I'm
and
not sure.
yeah, and I think I became more of a fan of his throughout this title reign. So
I
I
agree.
will give him the credit where credit's due in that sense. You could argue Mox and MJF at 5, but I will put just MJF at 5 because his rivalries are the ones that you want to watch on the show. So I'll give him credit for that.
Mhm, mhm.
Like the shit with Adam Cole, I think that was probably some of the best stuff they did
I agree.
with the double
100%.
clothesline.
They killed a man with a double clothesline.
Yeah, so that's where I'll do it. Again, this is hit and miss. These are like these are people's opinions and things like that. Is the not this is not the go-to like review and shit like that. But this is a person's opinion and things like that. So respect for what it is. But again, you could always have the discussion of who's your top 10, who's your top 5, and things like that. And from people like us that we watch it every week, it might be different because this is the consistency we get from these shows. So
Hmm.
100%. But yeah, Cassidy, I'll go 4. MJF, I go 5. I think Gunther 3, Roman 2, Seth 1. Yeah, Seth
Hmm.
100%. I like 100% agreed with Seth being 1. Period. Like I from just his workhorse style as well, because he's been killing it every single time as well.
And I put Cardona in the top 10. I'm just saying.
I'll put
For
Card.
me,
Actually, you know what? MJF. I'm gonna put MJF at 6, Cardona at 5.
okay. All right. All right. All
Just
right.
because he's card. I'm biased as shit. That's
Yes.
why.
Yes.
I'm just biased.
Yes.
All right. Last but not least is our wrestling retrospect, and is your pick. So who you got?
I didn't really think about it, but I think I want to do another older wrestler. Um, and I want to make sure I didn't do it. So I'm gonna ask you, did I do Hacksaw?
Yes, that was like
I did do
number
Hacksaw.
3.
Okay. Okay. I did Hacksaw.
You can revisit. I'll say we could
No, no,
revisit,
because I
but
don't want.
I say when we revisit, we have to go by timeline.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, so I don't want to do it again. Um, So then I'll go for another wrestler during that character era, I think. Um, see, I don't know if I did this one also. Did I do Did we do Dunk the Clown?
Doink the Clown.
Because I know we did Bam Bam.
We did not do Doink the Clown. So Doink the Clown it is.
So Dunk the Clown it is. Yes, sir.
I thought I was gonna pick him too because the Dark Side of the Ring, but I'd line up not picking him. So Doink the Clown it is this week. All right, wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Battle Podcast. Thank you for listening. Follow me on all social medias and Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Mark the Mic. Also follow my TikTok. I post a lot of figure photography, Starfield stuff, and now Mortal Kombat stuff. They're all going on there. So definitely check it out when you get a chance and give me a follow. And follow Red Cycle Link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. Red Cyclonic. That is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. That is YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and we got a WordPress.
Yep, yep.
Check it out.
And always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's hungry.
Peace out.